Hi, welcome to a P226 philosophy video. This is going to be one of the quintessential gun arguments. This is the AR versus the AK-47. Here representing the two types is a Smith & Wesson M&P 15OR and an Arsenal SLR 106F. They're both really good guns, and I'm kind of going to approach this from a standpoint I don't think I've heard many people do. And that is cost of systems. I'm going to call several things on this kind of a wash. It's going to come down to really a couple of key elements for me. And that basically is going to be, how much does it cost you to get a high quality AK versus how much it costs you to get a high quality AR, and how much magazines cost for the two of them. Okay. I would call accessories really a wash with these guns, because a quad rail for this is going to be $150 pretty much for a decent one. For an AR, a standard drop-in handguard is going to be $150. You can go more than that if you want to. All in all, I think that setup there was like, to get it new would have been about $200. Okay. I bought the handguard from someone who was trying to get rid of it, basically. Anyway, let's go with costs of the initial rifles. This is going to get some people's panties in a wad, especially on the AK side, because you can go get a Wasser 1063 for $450, $500. But in my opinion, that is not an AK you'd want. I would never use an AK like that. I've owned two of them. They suck ass. Okay. The Arsenal is pretty decent. I would say it's the lowest end AK I would buy. Okay, and considering that's a lot of people's top end AK, that's saying quite a bit. AR wise, really, to get a decent AR, not counting Franken guns and Spike's tactical builds and any of Delton, any of those type of companies. I'm talking about, you know, real companies that make guns, quite frankly, or just, you know, parts suppliers that also put together guns. It's going to cost you about $800 to get, $700 to $800 to get a really nice stock AR-15. And an AK, really, to get a decent AK, it's going to be about the same amount, $700 to $800. Okay. And in my opinion, the AK needs a lot more done to it. This is another category too. The AR, you could pretty much run completely stock. Okay, I'm planning on eventually getting a couple of ARs that I'm going to keep stock, just because I want them. An M16A2 style rifle would be an example of this, and a kind of M4, A4, A3, something like that. For guys who know ARs, you know what I'm talking about, and if you don't, go look it up. I'm not going to explain it to you in this video. Anyway, the sights on an AR are a lot better than the sights on an AK. Even, you know, me being kind of a fan of the basic sights an AK has, I'll admit the sights that come on an AR are a lot better. Okay. So on an AK, you're going to need to add some sort of optics mounting platform. You're going to need to add some sort of different iron sights. Okay, these could kind of be worked together, but as opposed to the AR, which is already optics ready and already has good sights. It's kind of a key difference, for me at least, because I'm going to be running optics. Next thing would be cost versus quality on accessories for the two guns. Here I'm talking mainly about polymer accessories. For the AR-15 you have Magpul. Okay, all of Magpul's accessories are very reasonably priced and very, very high quality. Tapco is the main manufacturer of AK accessories. Now, what's a polite way to put this? They pretty much suck. At least most of their stuff pretty much sucks. There's a few things that don't, but in general, just avoid Tapco. And that is mainly because they cost the same amount as Magpul, but they're like a fourth the quality. Okay, yet again, I would say AR wins. Okay, another thing with this would be basically the ease of configuring the rifle the way you want it to be. You know, how easy is it to interchange parts? And I would say mostly that's a wash when it comes to things you're going to do yourself anyway. The places where it's not a wash would be the fact that basically with nothing but a couple of wrenches and some screwdrivers, I could build an AR-15 from parts. Yet you need a welder and some other equipment to build an AK. That sucks. That means you can't change your own barrel. Yet again, AR wins. Okay, magazines. To get a high quality AK magazine, like the Bulgarian Circle 10 you see in this SLR, you're going to be paying about 35 to 40 bucks. Okay, that's pretty steep for a magazine. That's almost into the SIG 550 realm, although the 550 mags are $75 each when you can find them. The AR-15, by comparison, using Magpul P-Mags, those typically are anywhere from $13 to $17. Okay, that's awesome. That's, you know, a third the price. So why would you not pick an AR mag system? I mean, if you consider you're going to be buying a lot of these, I mean, at a minimum, probably 7 or 9 of them for any tactical system. I mean, because you want at least enough mags to fill your loadout once and then have a complete backup set. Okay, at least in my way of thinking. So that means pretty much minimum is 7, because that's 1 in the gun, 3 in the vest, and 3 backups. At 40 bucks each, you know, that's 180 bucks. I don't know, sorry, I can't do math. $280. It's late, sorry. $280 for the magazines compared to, say, $15 for the Magpul times 7. So that's 45, that's 90, $105 for the Magpuls. Yeah, that's a no-brainer in my opinion. Run the AR mag system. Yet again, AR wins. In case you're not sensing a theme here, I'm basically saying that the AR wins this battle every single time. Accuracy-wise, I would say the AK is as accurate as you would ever need, but the AR is more accurate. This is probably a 4 MOA gun, 3 to 4. The AR you see there is a 1 to maybe 3/4 MOA gun. It's fucking tiny ass little groups shooting the exact same ammo. Both of these guns are chambered in 5.56, by the way. So, caliber debate is non-existent for me. That's a lot of people's issues, that they want the 30 caliber round. Well, you know what? If you want the AK round, go with an AR and 300 Blackout. It's virtually identical and runs well in an AR. Uses the same magazines. Okay, so if you want a 30 cal, go for the version that's meant for ARs. There you go. If not, they do make AKs and 5.56. There's no caliper debate. Just said weight. How about weight? A stock AR is going to weigh less than a stock AK, but honestly, no one runs an AR stock anymore. At least hardly anybody does. As you see them here, that AR weighs significantly more than that AK. But, you know, the AK doesn't have an ACOG and aluminum quad rail on it. Nor does it have a Magpul UBR stock on it. It has the folding Bulgarian polymer stock that's actually pretty lightweight. Weight-wise, I would actually say the AK wins because, you know, even all gussied up, as you know, dressed up as you're going to have an AK, it's still nowhere near what a dressed up AR is going to be. That's just my opinion, though. I mean, a lot of people would say, yeah, but you can run, you know, this version or that version of an AR and get it down to like 6 pounds. And, yeah, whatever. Nobody runs ARs like that. There's nobody I know. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and you know, if you don't agree with this, leave a comment. I don't know how you could not agree with this, actually. I mean, the AK was designed in 1947. The AR was designed in like 1959. There's a good 12 years of technological advancement between the two. And then the Russians stopped improving the AK pretty much in the early 90s, while the AR has continued to be improved because of our war in Afghanistan to the point where it's near perfection. You know, for example, the optics alone, the Russians have nothing like that ACOG. Okay? And mounting an ACOG in an effective manner to an AK would be fairly difficult, unless you go with one of those Krebs style dust cover Picatinny things. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm rambling. Thumbs up the video. Please subscribe. Thanks for watching.